I'm making a bold statement today. I do not believe in positive thinking. Truth. Find out why. Hey y'all, what's up? It's Dr. Allison, and I'm here with kind of a surprising message. I do not believe in positive thinking. True story. Now, of course, I don't believe or don't support negative thinking, but I'm not really a fan of positive thinking either. Instead, I'm a fan of realistic thinking. I know, it's kind of a play on words, but hear me out. You guys know, as humans, that our brains are wired to focus on the negative. I say that a lot because I want you to remember the fact that your brain goes to the negative very frequently. You are not alone. We all do that as humans. And a lot of times people think like, oh, I should focus on the positive. And I feel like people sometimes tell us that, like, oh, look at the positive. Like, oh, just, it's going to be fine. We don't know that. I don't want to convince you to just live in Polly Pocket positive land, right? The goal is for us to see things accurately and realistically. Now, here's the catch. Again, your brain is drawn to the negative like a magnet, like a moth to a flame, like me to mint chocolate chip ice cream, okay? It just naturally goes there. So you are going to have to challenge your brain to look at the positive. But that doesn't mean that you only have to see the positive, because I think when people encourage us to do that, or if you think that's what I'm selling, then you're going to tune me out, because that's not realistic. I'm not asking you to live among the rainbows and unicorns, but I'm asking you to be really thoughtful about where you direct your attention. So, if you're waiting on, let's say, some scary news or, tests from a doctor, I'm fine if you sort of say, God, it could be this, this, or this, and those things are like really scary. I don't want to try to convince you like, oh, don't worry about those, it's going to be fine. I don't know. I'm not your doctor and you're not a mind reader, so we don't know what's going to happen. So you're right. It could be those really negative, scary things. Absolutely. Now, what I also want you to do is direct your attention to these things. What are the things that could be more positive or not so awful and not so scary and not terrible? Your brain doesn't want to see them naturally. So yes, you have to turn your head, intentionally say, what are those things? But it's ridiculous to think that you're only going to look at those positive things. Anybody who wants you to do that, I don't know how they do it, because we're not wired that way. So it is true that we have to be way more intentional about directing our attention to the good and to the positive. But that does not mean that I want you to be an optimist and just focus on the positive. Y'all will never watch another video if I tell you to do that. So when you get anxious or worried, or things are going wrong in your life, don't think that you have to just focus on the positive. But of course, we don't want you or me or anybody else to just focus on the negative. So I want you to think about being a realist, seeing things accurately. Remember that idea of approaching things like a scientist. Step back and look at all the data. Look at things realistically. That is the sweet spot in life, and that's where I want you to be. Yeah, we have to work harder to see the positive, but that does not mean that we should just focus on the positive. You all know people who say that. They're not my friends. I don't find that helpful. All right, so I hope this tip was helpful. You can find more simplified psychology on my website, drallisonanswers.com. Of course, you can find me across most social media. I hope that these tips are helpful. I want you to get the most out of this amazing life that we've been given. Yeah, you gotta work for it a little bit, but it's so worth it.